Conan the Barbarian, a name that conjures images of a sword-swinging, muscle-bound warrior, a hero born from pure fantasy. But have you ever wondered if there's a grain of historical truth behind the legend? Was there ever a real Conan? A figure whose life inspired the tales we know today? Let's journey back in time, through ancient history and medieval lore, to untangle the facts from the fiction and discover the true origins of this iconic character. The world of Conan, with its warring tribes and crumbling empires, feels like it's ripped from the pages of a history book, and in a way, it is. The setting mirrors the late Bronze Age and early Iron Age, a time when fierce nomadic peoples like the Sumerians, Scyth, and Sarmatians roamed the vast plains of Europe and Asia. The Greek historian Herodotus even wrote about the Cimmerians, a real tribe from north of the Black Sea known for their raids on settled kingdoms. Their world was brutal, governed by the sword and tribal honor. It's in these real, ancient warrior cultures that we can find the seeds of the Conan myth. So, did archaeologists ever unearth a tomb belonging to a chieftain named Conan? The short answer is no. There's no historical record of a single Cimmerian warrior whose exploits match the adventures of our hero. The name Conan itself actually comes from a much later period. It's a Gaelic name, meaning little wolf, and it belonged to real Irish warriors and nobles in the medieval era. These figures were brave, for sure, but they lived thousands of years after the Cimmerians, and thousands of miles away. It seems the name and the cultural backdrop are two separate pieces of a much larger puzzle. The man who put all these pieces together was Robert E. Howard, an American writer from the early 1900s. Howard was obsessed with history, devouring tales of Vikings, Celts, and steppe nomads. He felt that the raw, untamed energy of these ancient cultures was missing from modern society. So, he created his own prehistoric era, the Hyborian Age, fictional time set between the sinking of Atlantis and the rise of known ancient civilizations. Into this world, he placed his hero, Conan the Cimmerian. He borrowed the name from the real tribe, but fueled the character with his own boundless imagination, creating something far larger than life. Howard's Conan isn't a historical figure. He's a mythic one. He wanders through kingdoms that never existed and battles sorcerers born from pure fantasy. But his character still reflects historical truths. The harsh reality of early warrior societies, the code of personal honor, and the constant movement of tribes across continents. In this way, the Conan stories are like a funhouse mirror. They distort reality, but you can still see a reflection of the truth within them. Over the decades, filmmakers, artists, and other writers have added their own layers to the myth, expanding it and sometimes exaggerating it until the original historical inspirations are barely visible. What we're left with is a powerful archetype. The lone warrior who challenges tyrants, defies gods, and survives by his wits and his strength. This is a timeless hero, one we see in ancient legends like Gilgamesh, Beowulf, and Su Lane. Conan's enduring appeal isn't because he was a real person, but because he represents a universal pattern in heroic storytelling that resonates deep within us. Ultimately, the historic Conan is a ghost, an echo of countless ancient warriors whose names have been lost to time, but the mythic Conan is more alive than ever. The legend's power doesn't come from being historically accurate. It comes from blending fragments of history with a universal human longing for freedom, strength, and the dream of forging your own destiny. Sorting and uncovering this process shows us how the greatest myths are born not from a single truth, but from many truths woven together into a story that can captivate the world for generations. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history and myth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. See you in the next video.